my Flosstube friends, it's time for another episode. How are we? It is time for another episode. I am Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram, and it is time for another Fun Friday Flosstube Weekly Update with me. Yay! I hope everybody has had a great week. This is Flosstube. I had to look at my notes. Flosstube number 62, and today is Friday, July the 24th, 2012. Can we go back to 2012? In 2012, I had a 6-month-old on this day. It's 2020. Still. It's still 2020. Anybody else ready for 2021? Yes. That's okay. This is going to be a big year because 2020, I am turning 40 in October. So anywho, this is a video about cross stitch on my channel about cross stitch. So if you are a returning friend, Flosstube friend, I am so excited to have you back. It means you saw something or heard something you liked and you felt like sticking around for another video. And if you are new, because there are a fair few of you that are new this week, welcome. I hope that you see some cross-stitchy stuff that you like. So, what do we have on the docket today? We have a tiny bit of life update. I mean, we are kind of still in this stay at home as much as possible, still in like summer for us. So yeah, a little bit of life update. I did have a finish this week. I had some starts because I am still in Jolly Joy-Filled Whip You Lie, and I have some starts smattered in here and there. I had some whips I worked on, quite a few whips I worked on this week. And then we're going to talk a little plans coming up for this weekend and looking into next week, and some stashy stash. So yeah, the first thing is a couple of folks have asked in the comments from the last video, asked for me to briefly share which books I'm reading, because I had alluded to some of the books that I have been using as a morning kind of quiet time study and also in the evening. I've also had several requests for me to go through some of my religious charts. So what I think I'm going to do for the religious charts is it won't be in a regular video, but I'm thinking I might kind of pull those and go through and do a kind of stash adventure to find the religious charts, because I know I have quite a few, some that you might not like know about because they're not by one of the more religious designers, and I'd love to share that in an extra video. So that will be forthcoming before we go back to school. So I think first things first, I will share with you the books that I have been reading. So in the mornings, I have been going through, and I've had this for a number of years. I got it on clearance or like a doorbuster kind of a deal at Mardel's, which is our Christian bookstore. And, oh, disclaimer, if you are not interested in hearing about the books I've been reading, then you can kind of swipe along that bar until you see a cross-stitch project pop up. But this one I am doing in the mornings. This is one of the 1-year devotionals. There are a lot of different ones of these. This one is available on Amazon as well as other places. I have since purchased a couple of other ones that I like also. So yes, there's another one that's Joy and Laughter that I went through last year that I really enjoyed. But this is Sweet and Simple Moments with God devotional, and it's by Kim Newlin. And so this is an option. I really like the formatting. I like that it's got a daily scripture, a daily devotion, inspirational story, and then it's got kind of a key point or something maybe to practice, like a practicing type thing. So yes, I'm working my way through this one in the mornings. Also, I had shown this one, which is the Read Through the Bible in a Year map for women. I purchased this one at Mardel's. I did not look to see before I filmed this video if this is available on Amazon, but I will see if I can find a link to it. Again, this is a 1-year study and read through the Bible. So yes, I just have an NIV Bible that I use along with that. Also in the mornings, I am working through this book. This is a New York Times bestseller. This does have a Christian premise to it, but I think it is such a fantastic book that even if you are not leaning really Christian, I think it's a great book. It's called Love Does, and it's by Bob Goff. This one is available on Amazon. That is where I purchased mine, and I will link it below. I link everything in the description box, but it will be tomorrow. I am no longer an Amazon affiliate, so it is just an Amazon link. One thing that I will tell you is in books like this, I tend to dog-ear pages when something speaks to me or I want to go back and reflect on it. And as you can see, I am right here. I'm about halfway through and like lots of dog ears. This is a fantastic book. Then in the evening times, I am going through this book. It's for 40 Verses to Ignite Your Faith by Lori Pollock Short. And this is one I found on Amazon. It was just a recommendation for me. So yeah, I mean, this is another one that I would recommend. I will link it below. And then this was the other one that I am working through at the recommendation of a friend, as well as my counselor. And this is by Lisa Turkurst. And I think that's how you pronounce her name. It's not supposed to be this way. This is a great book. It has a study guide. I'm slowly but surely working my way through this. It is a meaty read. It really makes you think, and it's not one that is light in the text. Love Does is a super like uplifting and easy read. It's not supposed to be this way as an uplifting read. It's just it's a lot of pondering. So something else that's kind of exciting. So most of you that have been here for any length of time know that I loved my Flosstube and Stitch, or I still love my Flosstube and Stitch journal. This is from Ardith Design, Amanda May. This is her cover art, and then she self-published through Amazon. And this is a blank, well, it's not blank anymore. I only have one blank page, but it's a blank graph notebook. It also comes in lined, I believe. And I have been using this for my Flosstube notes. It's full. So it is being retired. It is being retired, and it was well loved. It is a great price. I will link it below. Love it. But I wanted something a little different. Try something a little different and see how it goes, and then I may go back and buy another one of those. So I have been a fan of May Designs for a long time, since they were May Books. And May Designs is a company, they are based out of Texas, that does planners, journals, and they custom print. So here's their maydesigns.com. They have these like kind of canvasy feeling notebooks. They have 3 sizes. This is the classic. There is a larger size, and I have one that I'm going to show in Stash. This is actually part of Stash as well. And then they have a mini size, which is like, you know, kind of a 3x5 size. And they have all different insides, all different outsides. You can customize it with a monogram, with words, whatever. This is one of their designs, and so I chose this one to be my new show notes. And so it says, "In your presence there is fullness of joy." And so it's joy, and it was already printed, and it's really pretty. And this is the classic size, and this is their blush lists format. So it's got a blush column with list, and then grid paper, and then the top heading. So I actually went back and started with Flosstube 60, so it made sense with me. 60 didn't have many notes. That's okay. And then I've got 61 and 62, which today we are on 62. So far I'm liking this a lot. I will be referring to it today because I have a lot of things to show you. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. And I needed a notebook because I really do like having this as a record. So I think I'm going to show you a finish. The first thing I do want to show is this is not a finish, even a recent finish or a recent FFO. This is one that I had FFO'd, hanging on my wall right here, and I hit it off the wall 3 times with this chair when I moved it back, and the 3rd time it cracked the frame. And I've had the replacement frame that I got at IKEA for forever, and I just now got around to putting it back in a frame. So this is one that if you've been with me for a little bit, you've probably already seen. Oh, and somebody asked about this one, I think. Somebody asked about my conversion for this. I will gladly share my conversion. However, a lot of what my conversion was Victorian Motto or Mystery Grab Bags. See, that's the problem, is when I started all this on my color converting journey, I went with the things I had in my stash, which at the time were a lot of unnamed grab bag flosses, Victorian Mottos, which some Victorian Mottos you can get on there. Well, you could get them on her eBay shop. I think she's closed her eBay shop for right now. Yeah, so I will share it, but I don't know that everything's going to be readily available. But this is Kathy Barrick's HL Moth. And this was a start from, I think I started it in May of 2019. And I finished it last November, I believe. And I FFO'd it pretty quickly. I did rechart the initials because it had HL, and I had recharted it with my first and last initial. And I did do my own kind of conversion. Unfortunately, there is a bit of glare. So my goal is to have this back up on the wall, and I'm going to rework the wall behind me because I have another finish that I want to hang up. And so let's show you that. This is something new that is finished, and it's not a stitchy thing. It's not a new stitchy thing. It's not a stitchy thing at all. It's a finish though, and it is Joybird. My diamond painting from Diamond Art Club is finished, and look at how it sparkles. I can't even. So this is Joybird, and when you saw it last, I had this finished. I worked on it every day this week and finished out the last 2 rows that I had, and I adore this. I was over the peach colors though, but I love looking at this from far away now because I've looked at it up close for so long that I didn't see how beautifully charted this modeled background is, how amazing the highlights and low like shadows on this bird are, and just, I mean, this has no AB diamonds. This one does not have any of the extra sparkly diamonds. This is just a regular square diamond, but like that's my favorite thing to do. Ooh. So this is going to be hanging on the wall back here somewhere. I am going to rework my area back here so that you can see more of my stitchy stuff-ish. I mean, obviously you don't see much. I mean, you see Hermione. She's a stitched finish from last year. You see the Jeremiah 2911. That is one of my charts that is in my Etsy. Above it is Hello Beautiful. And that's all of my stitchy stuff on this wall. HL's Moth used to be right here, but like I said, I whacked it off the wall several times. So if I put it back on the wall right there, I just either have to be really careful with my chair or like command strip it and nail it to the wall. Like bolt it to the wall. So anyway, this week I did have quite a bit that I worked on. I'll kind of do life stuff intermixed. Oh, I wanted to show one more thing. This is kind of stash-ish, but it's not stitchy stash. This is one I just got off of Amazon, and this is Good Day Start with Gratitude, and it says cultivate an attitude of gratitude, and I love the lettering and that cover of it. But the thing that I liked about this is that it has, like, this is a week's worth. So you have a place with a quote, and then you have a place for each day to write 3 things you're thankful for. And I remember doing this in high school in one of my classes. And I found it really interesting that my teacher at the time told us you cannot repeat something. And we did, I think, 100 days of gratitude. And it started to really make you think, because you started to like run out of, you can't be like my family every single day. So it really made you sit there and think. And we had, you know, a few minutes at the beginning of class as everybody was filtering in to pull out our gratitude notebook. It was just a spiral notebook. I think I still have it somewhere. I need to pull that out and look at it. But then I liked, after a few weeks, it has a begin each day with like a kind of a neat font page. This reminds me of a stitch of Hello from Liz Matthews, kind of. And then it has a longer prompt, like write about one person that you are truly grateful for knowing. And I think that was cool. And it has some of those kind of smattered throughout. Write about one experience that you're grateful for that shaped who you are today. Again, this could come from a Christian viewpoint, but it could just be, we all need to have an attitude of gratitude, being grateful for what we have in this life. And that does not have to come from any one given religious preference or affiliation. Write about one place you are thankful that you had the opportunity to visit and why. I like that. These are kind of some of the longer ones mixed in throughout. Write about some of the ways that you can show your gratitude towards others. Okay, see if there's any more. So it looks like there's one of those. There's like 5 or 6 of those. Reflect on how journaling 3 things you are thankful for every day has changed your life. So this is like a year's, I think. So that's another one. I'll link it below. I'm going to have a very full description box, and I already do usually. I usually max out the characters and have to. This week has been great, though. We went swimming. What else did we do? Joy-filled little one's best friend. I mean, she has lots of best friends. She has lots of friends. But this is by far like her best friend, and her mom is my best friend. And we just click, and it's awesome. And they've been home this whole time. They very rarely ever leave the house for any reason. It would only be to get takeout or do like a curbside pickup somewhere. But with school coming into play here very shortly, they're wanting to kind of get out more. Well, it was her, Joy-filled little one's little friend's 8th birthday on Thursday. So we invited them to go to the pool because it is a reservation based. It is social distanced. We wear masks, all the whole 9 yards. So it's still a very safe feeling environment. And we went, and they had cupcakes, and they ate lunch, and they played. And it was just so amazing to watch the little ones play with each other and all of that have not gotten like that I'm a kid and I'm just going to be a kid time and be goofy and run around and whatever. And it was really sweet to just see them together. Joyful little one had picked her out a few things at Target when we had gone to buy groceries, and she was so excited to see her friend open them up. And I was talking to her mom, and so we're going to at least plan something maybe next week just to continue to have them have some time for friends, and also being able to be out and about more leading up to school. We are going, so little backstory, end of last week or beginning of this week. Can't remember when it came out, but I don't think it was out when I did my video last Friday, because our governor kind of does some updates on Fridays, but this did not come from the governor. This came from our county's health and human services, like our health department. And they basically put a mandate out that said all schools will be closed until September 28th. The exemption being religious private schools. Private schools with religious affiliations. I think that's due in large part to the separation of church and state. So, when we have a very large private school presence in our city, lots of really, really good private schools. And we have some good public schools. They're just not all good. And that's really kind of sad. And there is some inequity in this whole mandate. So the whole county, public and private secular schools, are closed until the 1st of October, basically. we are opening. Our board had a meeting on Wednesday evening, and they decided, based on the measures that we're going to have in place, which is very small class sizes between 9 and 11 or something along those lines. Face masks for any child 4th and up, social distancing, keeping in small cohorts, like not intermingling classes, enrichment teachers traveling or them going to enrichments as one small class, lots of things like that we're going to open as scheduled. So next week is my last week of summer vacation, and then I'm back on August 3rd. I'm actually at peace with it because I had been thinking thoughts about, okay, I have to wrap my head around whatever this is because I can't quit loving what I do. And I don't want to stop being a teacher. I don't want to have to rethink my life at 40 years old when it's something that I'm truly passionate and adore immensely. So we're going to roll with it. I don't know what it's going to look like. I was talking to my friend, who is Joy-Filled Little One's best friend's mom, and they're fully on board with it as well. They've been long invested in the school. They've had 2 children go through the school as well. And we were talking about it, and I truly believe that part of why we are going back now is because our administrators believe that later there's going to be a necessity to close as we enter into towards like flu season and things like that. But they want to get these kids in, building relationships with their teachers, especially the little ones, learning the technology so that we can seamlessly transition when and if we have to close again. And I think that is very smart. I do not know how a public school would open at the beginning of October. Not with this full, and I've taught public school, so I know, and I've had very full classes. You know, ones that required waivers in order to have as many kids in the room. So I don't know. And today I am rocking a side ponytail with a topsy twist, like with a topsy twist. You know where you like this is so, I remember this, where you would take your hair and you know you flip it through. And I remember I used to say, Mom, do it a couple times. And so I'd have one and flip it through, and then one and flip it through, and one and flip it through. So I realized I can have kind of a side pony with it flipped through. So I'm feeling very cute today. Very cute indeed. Let's show some stitching. I have chatted enough. Okay, so you've seen my finish. Let's just start pulling some things out. And we'll just see. All right, so I worked on, let's see, I think 2 projects from in this bag. The first of which I spun last week as a project to work on this weekend. That is one of my Jolly Joy-Filled Whip UI pieces. This is a Priscilla and Chelsea freebie that is on their blog. I will link it below. This is Chicken Joy. I am stitching this on 20 count Charcoal Aida. And and it is blowing it out big time. It's better back here. I worked a ton in the white. So all the white of the tree is done, the white snow underneath. The only white left is the chicken. I'm kind of getting all of the white stitching, the boring stitching out of the way. It's not boring because it adds to the pattern, but I'm getting that out of the way. And then I can put in some of the fun stuff, which I am going to be stitching my tree in pink. Wheat Dye Works Crepe Myrtle. Also in this bag, because this bag holds several projects, actually 4 to be exact, it's busted, is Hands On Designs Deer Tier. This was part of their White Christmas series, and I just adore the little tiered tray with the deers and the little luminary house. There actually is another one called Luminary Lane that I would inevitably like to stitch at some point. We'll see. I am using this for a Prompt and Enchanted stitching. I could not tell you right now which one that is, but I am not finished with my stitches on this one. I worked a bit on this last night in the gray tray, and then I also worked, let me cross this stitch real quick so my floss is in the back. And then I pulled in some green, and I was going to spend some more time today on this, and I probably will likely tonight, or I might get to it tomorrow. But we were doing other things this morning. And then I left to go to run by the bank, and then we ended up going to the Trader Joe's, which I have not been to the Trader Joe's since like January or February. And I was so excited. They have some of the best stuff there, and they have amazing protocols in place. They are not letting but like maybe 10 people in the store, so you have to wait in line, but that's okay. It's worth it for the Trader Joe's. This is on 16 count Nessie by Picture This Plus. This was a new fabric for 2019, and that is where I am now. The whole tray is done, so now it's a matter of filling in. Like, I'm working on some of this greenery. There's a little bit of greenery up here, and then I will fill in some of the other details, the 2 reindeer, the bow at the top. This is a fun little stitch. Everything I pulled out this week that I have not had out for a while, I enjoyed. I remembered. I have only pulled out, throughout this month, I have only pulled out one project that I was like, meh. And that went into my timeout basket, my think about it basket. And so I'm kind of sticking with that idea that I talked about, that I'm going to have a bucket, and when something gets spun and pulled out, if I'm not like, it's not my jam, I'm not enjoying it, I'm going to put it in the think about it bin. And it's going to stay there, and then reevaluate, especially reevaluate at the end of the year. I know this past year I did a stitch or ditch. We'll see what that looks like, because I have a massive number of whips. This lives in a Crafty Bags. She's on Facebook. She's in the UK. I sent her this fabric and the polka dot fabric, and she made this bag for me. And I'm going to actually put this one separate because I need to work on it some more. And I don't always get all my projects put back. Sometimes they get thrown back in the bucket and dealt with tomorrow. Let's see. Let's pull out this one. This project, actually there's several projects in this bag. This is a GaRon Tottenbag. This was, I believe, the March bag of the month, and it's kind of iridescent. It's way fun. And this holds any of the ones that I've started that were Be Well and Stitch projects. I think right now, currently, there's 2 in here? 3 in here? Maybe 3 in here. I'm not sure. And the one that I chose to work on for Enchanted Stitching, I do have some more to do in this, is Barbara Anna Designs The Light. I know that Michelle G, Bendy Stitchy, just finished hers, and I've seen some others starting it up, and this is such a beautiful stitch. She's a genius. I've said it once, I will say it many, many, many a times. She is a genius. This is not the right paper to tell me what I'm stitching this on. This is on a 25 count Lugana, and it's Stormy Night. It's one of the printed ones, so it's only printed on one side, and I'm stitching this 1/1 full cross. So this is where I have gotten. I do have some more in order to finish that task. So I am currently working on filling in the face. I will also be putting in the eye and some of the detailing on the back of the head. And then I believe starting on some of the dress, I think. But I love this. And I love the teeny tiny little minuscule stitches. Again, this is another one I pulled out and I was like, I love this. And that was like the theme this week. I love this. I need to work on this more. The problem is I have 2 projects for every, like, I have a lot of whips. And this needs to go in this pile because it needs more time. Okay, next project. This is a So Much to Love bag. I love Karen's bags. And this one I worked on for a task in Enchanted Stitching. And this is Little House Needleworks Blessed is the Life. And I am doing a conversion on this, so you will see a little bit more of my conversion. This is on an 18 count Aida that I purchased off of a seller on Stash, Unloading Cross Stitch Only. It's a group on Facebook. I have linked it below. I know some of you have said, what is the secret to getting in? I don't know if I just happened to get in at the right time. Answer the questions. That's for sure one need, is to answer the questions. But yeah. So I got quite a bit done. I did this entire top checker border, and this is in Calico Kitty, which is Classic Colorworks. And then I put in this house. And I did not actually mind stitching this house. And there's 2 of these houses. One on one side and one on the other. Both in the same color. So as you can see, it does look a bit different than the original. But that was just my choice. I will link to a Google Doc that has my conversion. Because I know some of you have inquired about it. I tried to convert this one with readily available flosses. So hopefully that will be helpful to y'all. Oh, this is another finish. It's a partial finish. This one lives in a project sleeve that I sewed. And this is Heartstring Samplery. This is Advent Candle Ornament Set. And I started these during Advent last week. So I have a couple like in various stages of start. But I ended up finishing Hope over the weekend. So Hope is completely finished. This is on 40 count Mallow linen. I purchased it off of 123 Stitch. I'm trying to see who the seller is. I think it's Witchell. I think so. So I do have the word piece. And here's one thing I've learned. I am doing the DMC conversion. These greens make my brain hurt. Because it's 2 shades of green. And they are stitched like dark green, light green, dark green. But then it's light green, dark green. So there's a lot of counting and it's off. I have a flub somewhere in here. You can't really see. I know it's off. Because this leaf and this leaf are supposed to be the same height. These 2 are not supposed to be touching. It's going to be okay. I'm okay with errors in my projects. I'm okay with that. But what I have decided, and this was already something I was contemplating, and then I saw Erin T. Martini Stitcher update on hers, that she is using a variegated. So I'm going to take the 2 DMCs that I'm using so that it maintains a similar look to Hope, if that makes any sense. Because I'm not going to restitch Hope. But going forward, I'm going to use a variegated green for the leaves. And I think that that will speed it up and make it a much more enjoyable stitch. Because I do enjoy this. I don't mind this 40 count. It is tight. But the variegated, I think, will help. I don't have much in that cup. All right, next up, this project lives in a bag that I got off of a Stash Unload. It's just a vinyl front, but it's got some really pretty fabric. And this holds the collaboration between Heartstring Samplery and the Scarlet House. This is Berry Bowl Sampler. I pulled this one out for Enchanted Stitching this week. And I am stitching this on craziness. No, I'm just kidding. 32 count Lugana in Fog and Shale. This is recommended to stitch on 2 pieces seamed in the middle. You can choose to stitch them with like borders in the middle and then seam them at the end, or you can seam it on the front side, and I did it on the front side. And somebody asked me on Instagram, how did you match up your threads? How hard was it? I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a SAL that started May 1st, hosted by Christine of Mick Mama Hollis, or Hollis Hand Creates, and Kristen of Blue Bonnets and Whiskey. Kristen did a tutorial where she showed how she hand stitched her 2 pieces together. I tried following her tutorial and was like, that's too much, because I'm like, get it done now. So I just kind of thought, I'm going to line them up, and I'm going to show you my back. I don't normally show my back. I used the selvage, because the selvage was the straightest edge, in my opinion. And I just ran through my sewing machine and prayed a little prayer and said, please let them line up. And they did. So I finished the remainder of the over 1 words. So I had when and with. I pretty much had the words on this side of this middle medallion to do. And then I came up here and started on a basket. So this is going to be a long-term project. This is a bop for sure. It is on my bop wheel. So it is possible it will come back sooner rather than later. I did not mind the over 1 on the 32 count. This is tighter because it is Picture This Plus, but I didn't mind it. And it's stitched in a mixture of called for, some of my swap-ins. It's a beautiful palette of colors. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, it's going to be a long one, and that's okay. There are people trucking along. Jenny, Long Dog Sticker. Hello, Jenny Long Dog Sticker. Long Dog Stitcher is nearly done. Or done. I don't know. She's a robot. Because she stitches all those long dogs. And it's like, 1 week she shows something, and then like, maybe she shows it the next month, and it's done. I'm about to stitch Pandemic. I'm starting it on August 1st, and I'm terrified. Terrified. I'm terrified. It is huge. It is huge. That piece of fabric is like a crib quilt. Could wrap a child, like swaddle a large baby in it. It's so big. And then I was thinking today, I was like, oh, and I want to start Consider the Lily soon. And I pulled out the fabric, and it's 18 count. And it is like enough to cover the end of a twin size bed. Okay, maybe not. But it's a half yard. Half yard of 18 count. Yeah, I think I'm starting in October. And I honestly think I'm going to go on Color and Cotton and order the fabric in a 20 count. Because I'm obsessed with 20 count. I actually just emailed them like last week and switched my fabric of the month to 20 count. My 18 count takes up 2 drawers in my fabric storage. I also switched my BeStitchMe to another count. And I'm so excited. I have it to show today. Okay, So Much to Love bag. Super cute. This holds some more Christmas projects. It holds, this was one that the wheel chose this week. This is with Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais, Souvenirs of the Heart, Home for Christmas. The original was stitched over 1 on 28 count. I am doing this on 18 count. Picture This Plus in sterling. Love it. And I got a bit of a start. It was interesting because I was working on this one evening. Or no, I wasn't. Maybe I was. But I love how sometimes a piece will remind me of something. My daughter was watching Nutcracker in the Four Realms. She loves that movie. Which is a Disney movie. It's on Disney Plus, I think. It was on Netflix. Maybe it still is on Netflix. Anyway, I was working on this while she was watching it. I ended up putting in all of the gray of the house. And this little bit of snow here, little bit of snow here, and then the snow in the windows. So a little over 200 stitches, maybe nearly 300 stitches. It's a fun one. I'm excited to get to some of the fun colors, the red of the house, the pink of the door. I love that it has a pink door. So cute. So that was a fun one to work on this week. Diddly Daddle in Hand Stitcher Bag. I do not stitch in hand, but I have an in-hand stitcher bag. And this one holds, this was a new start this week. The wheel chose this one as a new start. And this is Heart in Hand Double Up Nativity. And I am stitching this on an 18 count mystery piece from BeStitchMe. It was one I got in a Friday night fight night at some point. And I'm stitching it in a mix of the called for and something close-ish. And I have the frame on the side with the blue. So I have this one right here stitched. So close to 300 in this, just as a good start. I have a ton of fabric. Like, I clearly gave myself at least 3 inches of margin. Sometimes I think 3 inches is too much. Anybody else feel like it's a bit of a waste of fabric? No, just me? Okay. Anywho, this one actually, you might see this bag again. You will see this bag again because it has another project that's not been spun yet. There's several of those bags lurking. All right, next up, this bag is holding new things because this used to hold Prairie Schooler Christmas Tree Farm. It now holds 2 different projects. You will see this one again because it also has a project. This actually was one that was chosen today to be a new start. So this is, what is this? Country Cottage Needleworks, the Nativity. I like that it's long and skinny and a little bit different. It's kind of cutesy and whimsical. Like, I foresee this, you know, could be hanging in my daughter's room or in our family room. I just think it's really cute. And it's on an 18 count unnamed BeStitchMe. And I have a bit of a start. I need to put some more in it. But I have City of David and the line that's underneath. And this is a mix of called for, close to call for, some swap-ins. I definitely swapped this one in. This is Color and Cotton Chestnut. And I love that it's got kind of a pinky red rusty undertone. So this is a fun one. And I love Brandy's fabrics. BeStitchMe. There is Friday Night Fight Night. Said it's a neutrals week. I'm in trouble. I don't need any more fabrics. But I'm kind of obsessed with the Linda right now. We'll see. I can't be guaranteed to not get one piece. All right, so next up, there was a lot this week, folks. A lot. This one actually has 2 projects that got worked on. This one I showed last week. This is a freebie. This is Christmas Alphabet by Heart and Hand, Cecilia Turner. This is a freebie in the Candy Cane Stitchers group on Facebook. Thank you to whichever viewer it was, I'm not sure, who reminded me that's where I found it, because I couldn't find it. I was like, why? Where did I get this? Candy Cane Stitchers. I will link that group below. I believe I did last week. And I put in more after the video, is why I'm showing you this again. This is on 28 count Crystal Wren from Picture This Plus. And I got more of the alphabet. So I got more here. And last week I talked about how I'm going to change the J, the O's kind of, I think, right here, and the Y's on its side. I'm doing them in red. So I love how that's turning out. And I did do some color swapping. I think it called for 3371, but I'm using Carriage Black. So yeah, this was a fun one to work on. It won't take long. I think it could easily be a finish the next time it comes out, especially if it's for a task on Enchanted Stitching, because I try to get 250 in those. Not every time. In fact, I think last week I didn't get Blessed is the Life completed, so I only got 3 of the tasks last week, and then I used it, but I had it already highlighted in my iPad, so I went ahead and stitched it for this week. This was a start this week that the wheel chose. This is Heart and Hand Merrymaking Mini Bear, and it says wishing you joy. I love him, a little polar bear. This is on 18 count Jade Aida from Picture This Plus, which I love this color. It's just like a little 8x12 that I got from 123. I love these little ones because this will fit easily 2 ornaments. And I got the polar bear's body stitched. So, it was a good start on that one. I like having some of these little ones. These will make great lunchtime stitching things, especially when you can get like an outline and then fill in. This one has a lot of, you know, it's got the whole face is another area that can be filled in, this border. So yeah, I love Heart and Hand. This bag has 2 Heart and Hands in it. All right, that brings us to the project that was chosen as the 100 stitch this week. I started back in June, I think. 100 stitch project. So each week I spin on my wheel one of my bops, my big old projects, to stitch on Monday through Friday and get at least 100 stitches a day. This week it chose the project that lives in this bag. This is a Lisa Kindred Stitcher bag. And I think it's beautiful. It used to hold Hoity Toity, but Hoity Toity is in the Think About It box. I love that she does the little vintage looking, what is this called? Safety pin with the fun little buttons that match. This now holds my Big Toe Designs, Great Is Thy Faithfulness. And I got a ton on this week, and I love it. I am stitching this long story short, when I started this at the beginning of the year, I kind of knew I was going to start it, so I was watching for the flosses, and the 4 colors of flosses were consistently always out of stock. Now, that was before I found all these other amazing online needlework stores, so I was buying a lot of things from 123 Stitch. Had I known that, I could have probably easily found them, but I just subbed in ones from my stash that are similar. So we've got Color and Cotton Chimney Sweep. This is Victoria Motto English Iris. This is Victoria Motto Blue Moon. And Victoria Motto Olden Sage Brush. So the last time I had this out, I only had the scallop border, about half of the words, I think Morning by Morning, done. And maybe this one little tiny corner motif right here. So you're going to see how much I did. I'm very proud of this. This is on an 18 count mystery fabric from Mystic Fabrics. And I love it. It's like it kind of reminds me of Earthen. Look at how much I got done. So I finished this line, Morning by Morning, New Mercies I See. I got in Great Is. And then I did, this is all complete up here. I did all the motifs up at the top. And this does not do this fabric justice. But I love it. Oh my gosh, I adore this. I cannot wait to have this finished and up on my wall. This will be an all the time piece. Adore it. And there's a video somewhere back in the day where I sang Great Is Thy Faithfulness for y'all. I will not do that today. Another time. That is for another time. That's everything I worked on. Yay! That was a lot, guys. That was a lot. Okay, so I think next up we're going to talk plans. Yes, plans. So this next week, in the personal side of things, our activity with Joyful Little Ones BFF is I have a friend that went this week to the American Girl store in Dallas. And they are super limiting the amount of lunchtime reservations they have in the cafe. The amount of people that are even allowed in the store. Like, if you have a reservation at the cafe, then you're obviously going to get to go to the store. But then if it, beyond that, there's not many people. Like, you kind of might have to wait until somebody leaves. And then the Doll's hair studio also, you get limited. Obviously wearing masks. So I was talking to my friend and was like, since it was her friend's birthday and then Joyful Little One's half birthday is today, don't ask how big of a deal my parents have made of this. If I had asked my dad, my own father, back in the day, or said to him, Dad, it's my half birthday, I'm 8.5, he would have laughed me out of the room and fallen out on the floor. Joyful Little One got picked up by grandmother because she stays sometimes on Friday nights. And mind you, grandmother dropped off donuts this morning on the porch with a gift. Half birthday. Half birthday. It's only grandchild. I'm going to put that out there. Only grandchild. Will be the only grandchild. Will be spoiled, absolutely rotten. I used to say exceedingly blessed. Spoiled. Loved. Exceptionally loved and cared for. Dropped off that this morning. She got a really cool thing. It is called Artie, A-R-T-I-E, and it is a coding. She's very into coding right now. They learned at school in computer hour of code, and so there's all these different coding activities. You can code like a dance. You can code to this. She loves to get on her Chromebook and do hour of code stuff. So my mom, in knowing that, found on Amazon this thing called Artie, A-R-T-I-E. And it's like this little robot. It's so cute. And you put a marker in through the top of his head, and it comes out at the bottom, and it's got little wheels. And then you link it through a secure connection to any device. It can be an iPad, a Chromebook, a laptop, a desktop computer. And you can go in and they give you some coding. They give you some codes. You can use the card they give you and either run the code or program it yourself, like actually go in and put all the steps of the code in, or you can create your own. And it like when you push run, it like makes a square, a circle, a heart, like all these different things. Well, she is over the moon. She could not wait to try it out. She could not wait to take it to their house and play with it and show them all about it. Well, anyway, long story short, I get shortly after she leaves, because my parents live about 10 minutes from me, not far at all, I get a FaceTime call. I'm like, okay, we're already FaceTiming? Well, come to find out, the grandfather, who would have laughed me out of the house had I ever mentioned my half birthday to him. Of course, I'm child versus grandchild. I know that there's a distinct difference there. Got her a balloon that when you hit it, it sings happy birthday to you. It's something like Sing a Tune Balloon. It's some new thing. You know, it's like the cards you open that sing the song. But no, you whack this Mylar balloon and it sings the song, tied to a big panda stuffed animal, who she's already named and befriended and named Party, as in Party Panda. I just can't. And so when my mom came to pick her up, she said, hold on, she had some chicken pasta salad she had made, because Joyful Little One loves that, and I do too. She calls it tuna, well, okay, so here's a little backstory, and we're just having a smattering of life in here. When I was a kid, my mom made tuna pasta salad, and she always did it with rotini noodles, or something like rotini, so she called it tuna scroodle. That's just what we always called it. Well, when she started making it for Joy-Filled Little One, she told her it was chicken. Because I think she thought if she called it tuna, she wouldn't eat it. Well, so now, Joy-Filled Little One requests chicken pasta salad. Here's the thing. About a month ago, maybe a little more than a month ago, I was making tuna, like tuna in a bowl with tuna. And Joyful Little One comes over and goes, what are you making? I said, oh, I'm making some tuna. I'm going to have a tuna sandwich. She goes, that smells a lot like my chicken pasta salad. And I said, uh-huh. I'm like waiting for her to connect the dots here. Nope. Gullible as the day is long. She still believes that's chicken pasta salad. It's the little lies. To get her to try something new and eat something new. So she loves it. The only problem is my mom makes it for her and I to share. But then the one that she used to make when I was younger had purple onion in it. I loved it. Well, Little One doesn't want onions, so I don't get any onions in mine. Anyway, she wanted me to get some out of the bag for us to have here. And she said, oh, can you move this other container, because it was on the floorboard of her car. Can you move this other container over here so it doesn't fall on her cake? I said, cake? She gets cake. She says she gets half a cake because it's her half birthday. I said, goodbye. You're crazy. And it's interesting because the husband, Mr. Royfield, was like, this is not a thing. When she was like, Daddy, it's my half birthday. He's like, that's not a thing. It's okay. He's already given her money to buy a doll at the American Girl store next week. Because he didn't buy her a gift during her real birthday. Because he said, you have Christmas and your birthday so close together. I'm just going to not give you anything right now. Because you got a ton of stuff from, your party and this and that and the other. And at some point, you're going to want something and I'll give you money for it. Well, here you go. She's getting a doll. Like a hole in the head. Okay, that was a little interlude. All right, plans. Plans. We're going to the American Girl store. It is my last week of summer vacation. And we're going to be going back to school wearing masks. Let's pull out Tiny Decisions app and let's find out what my 100 stitch project is for next week. Let's see. This is my 100 stitch box wheel. Berry Bowl sampler. I kind of want to wear on something else. Do I veto the wheel? Let me hear you. Veto? Veto, veto? Veto? No? Okay. I'm going to spin another one just to see. I might do 2 next week. I might do 2 since I'd had Berry Bowl this week. Boop, 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 boop. Yes! Oh my gosh, I so wanted to work on this. Okay, so we've got Berry Bowl Sampler and Joy Beyond combined. So we might do a little bit here. I may see if I can get Berry Bowl Sampler to fit in a prompt for Enchanted Stitching. And I'll just put 250 in that, and then I'll work on Joy Beyond Confined all week. That is a Be Well and Stitched piece. You've already seen Berry Bowl. But you know what? I've got it. So hold on. Because it lives in this bag. This was the Blue Flowers chart they put out. And it's Let Joy Be Uncombined. And I cannot wait to finish this. And I'm going to do it as a banner. Like a quilted banner. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. And here's where I am so far. I don't have much. I have B. And some vines. But I am doing a bit of a conversion. This is on a mystery fabric from Mystic. I'm nearly positive of that. Because this I started before I was obsessed with BeStitchMe. I'm still obsessed with Mystic fabrics. It's just she's not doing fabric games as often. And I decided to take a break from her fabric of the month. Because she tends to do brighter colors. And I don't necessarily do all that much that's brighter colors. Alright. I normally spin with y'all to see what I'm going to work on Saturday, Sunday for Jolly Joy Filled Whip You Lie. So let's see. We're going to pick if it's a whip or a new start. Now I will tell you there's not much left in the whips. So we're going to go over to the whip wheel. This is for Saturday. I only have one left. So that is Holy Night. And that you can't see it or spin it. So you can see it. That is Holy Night. So Holy Night is a Barbara Anna, and that means the rest of the month is new starts. Holy vey. All right, so Saturday is a whip. It is Holy Night, and that was one that was in Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine last holiday issue. Means we no longer have to spin the whip or new start wheel. We only have to spin the new start wheel. So this is for Sunday. What are we starting on Sunday? Let's see. And so he came. Okay. That is a freebie. And I have it here so I can show it to you. And so he came. That is a Plum Street Samplers freebie off of her website. Let me see if I can find it rather quickly. Believe it's in this bag. Told you you'd be seeing it soon. Yes, that's this one. And this is before the printer was fixed with real toner. So it is kind of janky. But this is Long Lay the World, and So He Came. It basically calls for a black, a brown, 2 reds, a green, a gold, and a white. So I just pulled my colors. I will share those when I show my progress on this. And this is on I think it's on an XG. I may be swapping this because I'm not really feeling 40 count if that's what this is. I think this is 40 count. Where's my tag? Yeah, I think this is a 40 count XG. Yeah, 40 count XG. I don't know. I may swap this out. It's feeling a little dark. We'll see. But I have some pretty colors for that, and I can't wait to share those with you next week. So I've got a little bit in the way of personal plans. I've got stitchy plans. I am going to start a new diamond painting. I went ahead and did the kitting today. I meant to bring the... little picture page, and I did not. So let me pull it up real quick. I got an alert today. I'm so pumped. I got an alert that one of the ones that I had on my wish list came in stock. And I was like, what? No! Yes! And I was so excited. I rushed over and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So I got one coming, and I'm so excited because it was one I was going to stitch as a full coverage, and I have no interest in the full coverage. So this is the one I'm going to be doing, and this is a Hannah Lynn. This is Dahlia. She is so pretty. She has 3 AB diamonds, and they are beautiful. It's significantly bigger than Joybird. It has 35 colors, and it's 16.5 by 23.5. It's not as big as Savior is Born. My ultimate goal would be to not have 2 going at a time and to have Dahlia finished before I start Savior is Born. And I'm thinking I'm going to start Savior is Born right around Thanksgiving. So that gives me a few months. I do a little bit of the diamond painting each day. It is nice. But I don't know what that's going to look like with school. Because it's kind of what I've been doing like in the early evening hours. So we shall see. I don't know how much I'll have to show. Come August, the beginning of August. Or middle of August. Alright, it's time for stash. And I did it once again. I put all my stuff in backwards. So it's joy-filled stashy stash time. And I'm extra chatty today, and we are already over an hour. Rock on. All right, this is actually Stitchy Kindness. Ooh, that was my address. Dawn, who won one of my giveaways, my 2K giveaways, wrote me a card, wrote me a letter. It's the cutest card. It says just a little note. On the inside it says, oh wait, just 2 little words. Clearly I can't read backwards on the screen, but they say it all. Thank you. And a lovely note. Lovely note. And then sent me a skein of Color and Cotton Sapphire. She said probably much needed for pandemic. Dawn, that was so unnecessary, but thank you so much. It was so exciting to get a letter from Illinois. And like Pam and Steph have often mentioned, I've talked about in my video before, it's like the never-ending cycle of thank you, no thank you, thank you, no thank you, thank you, no thank you. So Dawn, thank you. Totally unnecessary, but I really super enjoyed getting this card in the mail. And I will put it in my Stitchy journal, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. Probably with a picture of pandemic when and if it ever gets finished. It will get finished. I placed an order with 123 Stitch a while back. I think it was towards the end of June or beginning of July. It might have been beginning of July. I don't know. But it was some... Now I'm thinking what else was in this order with this. I don't know. Anyway, they had some of their French General fabrics. I don't know if you know this, but they carry some quilters cottons. They had some of these in their clearance or sale area. So I got a fat quarter of this one. This is French General. A fat quarter of this one. A fat quarter of this one. A fat quarter of this one. I have 2 more that were on back order because I guess they can oversell things. I'm not sure. And then I got a half yard of this one. This is a Riley Blake. And it has no, like, I think they're gnomes. But it's like gnomes in a Christmas village. So this is going to for sure be a project bag. And then I'm going to take the French General and turn it into like a patchwork project bag. But I'll wait until the rest of those fabrics come. All right, this one comes with a little story. So I finally broke down and bought a pair of Dobo scissors. I got them from Dovo Online. So it's dovoonline.com. And I just wanted a new pair of snips. I typically, when I'm stitching, have... Where are they? They probably fell on the floor. I have a really nice pair of... Oh, good gravy. They really are, like, gone. Okay, anyway. I have a really nice pair of gingers. Small gingers. They're, like, maybe 4.5 inch. Problem is, they've fallen on the floor several times, and anybody who knows nice scissors knows that the minute they fall on the floor their first time, the hinge gets wonky. They now squeak, and it's obnoxious. I need to send them to get fixed, but I was like, eh. So, everybody raves so highly about Dovos that I was like, order me a pair of Dovos. And I was looking on all these different shops on Etsy, and then I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to Google search it. And I Google searched Dovo. And it came up that they have their own online store. Now, they did not have everything in stock, but they had a pair that I was actually looking at on an Etsy shop and had in my cart, but it was cheaper on the Dovo website than through the Etsy shop. And while I would love to give my money to an Etsy shop, it was not one that I, you know, that I'm familiar with the owner. Not that that's a big deal, because I buy things from people all the time. But sometimes I have to just save a buck or two or 10. Yeah. So anyway, got these. They came wonderfully fast. I mean, super fast. They came in a little small cardboard box, taped all the way around. Well, the problem is the tape was all like, did not want to come apart. Because normally I, you know, push down and it, anyway. So I go, oh, I need to cut this. I need some scissors. Well, I was committing an ultimate crafting sin, which was I went for one of my pairs of Ginger dressmakers. Like my 5-inch or 6-inch dressmakers, not my big ones, my smaller ones. That are only for fabric. The thing that I chastised my husband against, he already knows. He's like, I can't use those. And I went to snip the tape and chopped a chunk out of my finger. So that's why I have my beautiful camouflage Band-Aid. The ironic thing was I'm opening a box with scissors and I cut my hand with scissors. Yes, I have cut things before and done so without chopping part of my finger off. It's interesting because it's in a weird spot to put a bandage. It's kind of like right here on the corner of my fingernail. I'm not flipping you off. I apologize. What's interesting is my husband wrecked his hand wrecked something on this exact same finger last weekend. And so he's like, it's the perfect finger. And I'm like, don't you show me that finger by itself. That's kind of the relationship we have. Anyway, so the problem is that my Band-Aid has gotten wet because washing hands, all of this. I was washing little one's hair today and wore a rubber glove. Took my own shower today, wore a rubber glove. It didn't matter. It's still, the water got in the glove. I was like, okay, clearly that didn't work. It worked well with her, not with me. Because I was trying to not have to take the bandage off and put a new one on. The problem is, when it did get wet, I pulled it off. Well, it pulled the adhesive the way that I had it. It ripped it back open. I might have needed some stitches, but it's now sealed back up again, so we're good. We'll just go with it. It's not impeded the stitching, other than this is usually my finger that I kind of get my needle in the back. I'm not a two-handed stitcher, but I do kind of keep the floss straight and all of that, and a Band-Aid gets a little janky around the edges. Okay, I've rambled on. Anyway, that came with a story. So here are my Dobos that I got. So they came in a really nice little pouch. It came with a leather sheath, which is funny because I did not know they were coming with a sheath, and I bought a sheath, and this one's actually bigger, probably too big. So I have an extra leather sheath, so if I ever get my other gingers fixed, that will fit them. Let me show you which ones I got. These are, I'm looking to see if it has any detail. These are the Dovo Embroidery Scissors 3.5 knurled, Knurled. And the stock number is 1443. And these have gold on the handle, and then the tip is the blades are silver. And they're just beautiful. They have a really pretty, where's my camera? A really pretty detail right here. Kind of like feathers or something. Well, anyway, so it's funny because when I told my husband the story, because they came yesterday and I opened them, and I showed them to him, he goes, ooh, these will be great to cut. And I went, don't you dare. As he was going to cut a piece of plastic or paper or something. It's like, you know better. He goes, I know, that's why I'm doing that. Like, I'm going to show you my bad finger. I'm going to show you my wrecked finger. Anyway, so Dobo online. I don't think they carry all of them, but they carry a lot of them. All right, I placed an order on Amazon because I'm just about over the fact that I have so many flosses on plastic bobbins and the tails don't stay. So I found where they carried the Doris cardboard bobbins, And I got 1,000. So I have bobbins for days. My Victorian motto finally came from June. It got lost for a while. It got wandered around for a while. So this I think was the last month that I was getting both the 36 and the 18 count. So this is 36 count, fat quarter, and this is, I get the neutral. This is Colonial sampler. So really pretty sampler. And I did get it also in the neutral 18 count, also a 1/4 yard. I think for the time being, I might drop these just because I don't know that I need them. But then I'm thinking, she's about full. That's my PSA. If you're interested at all in Victoria Motto, her clubs are nearly full. Email her. Get on her list. I get 6 of each of her colorways of the flosses. So she does a limited edition, which are more kind of the brights. And then she does a primitive limited edition, which is your more prim colors or sampler type colors. So this month in my limiteds, which kind of look a little prim also, I got Alpine Sweet Potato Pie, Lovely Lavender and Browns, I believe. Berry Plaid and Carnation. So those were the limited editions. All right, and then my prims for this month I got, see, these look very similar too. Kindred Soul, which is similar to 503. Stitching in Hand, which is 37.76. Then I got Sewing Necessaire and Warm Chocolate. And Quilt Pink and Cedar Rose. So, good selection this month. Let's see if I can get them back in the bag. They come in these really long packages. And I don't know what to do with these because I put them in my drawer and then I don't need the long packages. All right, next up, I was, okay, let me put this over here for a second. The husband came home from work. He got an early out. So that was what the door was closing and all that. Okay, so those of you that watch Michelle G, Bendy Stitchy, she has been showing her journal, her junk journal that she uses for her small finishes. And I loved that idea. And she posted on her Instagram that the company or the person, the artisan that makes them had several listed like on her Instagram to DM her. And so I did to see what was still available. And so I did end up ordering one, very reasonably priced. And it came with goodies that I was not expecting. And so I'm really excited to start using this to put some of my kind of stitchy pictures, small finishes, things like that. I am totally stealing Michelle's idea, but giving her credit for it. So the designer of the journal is Twisted Rabbit Creations out of Pueblo, Colorado. She does have a website, which is twistedrabbitcreations.com. I will link it below. I will also link her Instagram. She also does bath products. And so she, attached to her card was this soap that smells really good. So I will definitely be going and visiting to see what else she has. So my journal came with a beautiful handwritten note. And she included some ephemera. And the stuff that she included were some of the stuff from her travels. So there's like a little envelope. There's a Costa Rica lizard card. There's this pretty card with this hummingbird. I mean, that will totally go in my book. And then there's some other ephemera, which I thought was really nice. There's some brads in here, some small tags. There's a little like butterfly card. There's some vintage lace on a very pretty playing card. There's like an old-timey car. This has books I want to read. This is like an old ledger sheet. Another pretty little envelope. This is a cute little like a Spanish flashcard. I think that's so neat. And then there's neat little like old poster a library card. I love this. This little bunny going on a trip or something. I don't know if it's the Easter bunny or not. And then this one I love. It says, no issues today. I'm in my awesome bubble and you're not allowed inside. So I'm totally going to put that on the first page of my journal. That's fantastic. So thank you so much. And then there was this one that says grandiloquent word of the day and is frumicate. To put on airs, to act like the master of someone or putting on the dog. Frumicate. So there's your word of the day, frumicate. So anyway, I love getting all of the little goodies and opening those up to see. I actually ordered some little like stickers off of Amazon. And I don't have them in here with me, but it was just a pack of some little like vintage looking stickers. They're not actual vintage, they are reproduction. But anyway, the journal that I got has this giraffe embroidery on the front, and then on the inside it has this beautiful fabric, and then it's got these just really lovely aged papers. It smells like that soap too. She did put a note that the inside of the book is from Australia. The fabric on the inside is from Australia. Now I will say, the outside is not my favorite. I wanted this size. She had a really cute unicorn one that was real long and skinny, but I didn't know that I'd have enough finishes to put in it. So I am going to do much in the same way that I made my covers for my pattern binders. I'm going to make a cover for this. But I'm going to do it in something that kind of goes along with this, and I'll only do a small overlap so I don't wreck this beautiful fabric. I mean, it doesn't wreck it because it just slips on, but it'll be a little more my style. Yeah, so I'm excited about that, to start doing that. And I have some smalls that can already get finished in here and get out of my drawer of waiting, my drawer of things to come. All right, so we've still got more stash, so I better hustle. All right, I did have an order from Fire Poppies, and I got 2 charts and some DMC, and I'll show you what the DMC is for in just a minute, because it goes with something else. So I did go ahead and snag the newest one of the new Plum Streets. This is Summer Hill. I adore this. I do want to get Autumn Hill, because where have I been? Under a rock? I love Plum Streets, and I'm like, Summer Hill? Oh, this is a series? And I love the Autumn Hill one. So we'll be getting that. No plans to start that anytime soon. Stephanie. Oh, Miss Stephanie, I need you to look up, friend. Bestie, I need you to look up, because you need this bunny in your life. This came from Fire Poppies, and this is from Hands to Work Revisited, and this is Return the Kindness. Just wait. It's a bunny that says Return the Kindness that you receive. You need this bunny, and you need this on a 40 count, like tomorrow. Buy it on 40 count. And it's in needlepoint silks. I know those are now your new jam too. So Stephanie, Steph, you need this. I'm sure you can get this from your local L&S. Keepsakes. Yeah, I think you can get this. Aren't you the buyer? Go buy it for yourself. For yourself. All right, so I got my fabric of the month from BeStitchMe. I don't know what this is called. It does not have a name on it. I have seen inklings that the fabric of the month was called Wicked, but I don't know if that was the color or the neutral. I get the neutral. I just switched this month to the 27 count Linda. I love it. Look how pretty this is. It kind of is a purpler and pinker neutral. Purpler and pinker. I need some white to put behind this. And I have none. Okay, let's see. So it's really pretty. Obviously, the even weave dyes much more lightly. I adore it. Adore it. So I get a fat quarter of the 27 count Linda. I participated in Friday Night Fight Night. This was 2 weeks ago because there was not one last Friday. And I was late. I even had it set in my calendar, but I forgot to turn on like a notice, like to remind me, hey, 5 minutes until. And I happened to go in and I saw this piece and I did a next on it. And the one thing that I would suggest is if you're having a hard time getting a fabric from Brandy's Friday Night Fight Nights, put a next on some things. Because I think some people go through and are like, me. And then they go back and they're like, meh, I like that one better than this one. And so they'll pass or they'll delete their comment. And then you end up grabbing one. That's how Brandy has some that go week to week. Is that she has some that are left over from the week before that nobody nexted on. Well, now sometimes some pieces have like 4 people. I don't even try on those. But this one I was a next on and somebody passed it to me. They like didn't even like they said, hey, I'm passing to Annie. I can't wait to see what you stitch on it. Well, I have an idea, so I'm going to show you what I think I'm going to stitch on. But this is a 27 count Linda. Can you even? Can you even? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Does not have a name. Might now, but does not currently have a name. It is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with how rich this is, considering that it is an even weave. I can't imagine what this would look like on a linen. Oh my gosh. So my thought is, remember this one? She believed she could, so she did. I ordered 2 pieces of color and cotton that I was going to try out the colors. I don't know what I was thinking. I ordered them in 32 count Belfast. I don't even really like 32 count Belfast. Apparently at that time I did, because I ordered them back some point in June when this chart came out. But I'm thinking, how cute would that be on this? Because it's for Joy for a little one. Yeah. The dress is not going to be black. She's asked me to do something different for the dress. And then she's asked me to do the words in something different. I'm just thinking dark gray or navy or something. But she wants me to do something different for the dress. Not a pink or whatever, but again, maybe light gray and blue. Like a pretty variegated blue. I don't know. We'll see what that's going to look like. But do you think that would be cute? I think it would be totally cute. The red orange is not stitched. But I think it would be super cute on that. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm even going to put it in this pouch. It's in one of these pouches. I was going to maybe start this today. I don't have enough of the colors. Because I usually do a start on her birthday. And last year I started V-Fairy on her half birthday. But yeah, I don't have all the colors. I need to see if I have some of them. Yeah, I might put that to my over there pile. Alright, so when Brandy does her Friday Night Fight Nights, if you purchase from her Friday Night Fight Night, or a custom that week, or a website order that week, you can, well, I don't know that it's every week, but I know that if you purchase from Friday Night Fight Night, you get to participate in giveaways. And she has killer stuff in her giveaways. Like 30 giveaways a week, or some very large number. And usually she has at least one Mirabilia with the bead pack. And this past week, or that week, she had Snow Queen. And then, so then on Sunday, she draws for those. And I mean, you're talking like hundreds of people enter these. And she does a post with them all listed and tags you. So like on Sunday, I'm always like, did I get a tag? Did I get a tag? I got a tag. And I was like, what did I win? Because there was like a fabric. There were several fabrics I liked. There were a couple of charts I liked. I definitely entered the Mira. And I won it. I died. I was so excited. And I screamed. I squealed. So, Brady, you're amazing. And the fabric for this is going to be coming soon. I am hoping to start this in September along with Erin 2 Martini Stitcher, because she's starting her Mira then. It is Snow Queen. And I'm getting a custom cut of 32 count Lugana in Frost from Brandy. And she was so apologetic because it didn't come with the watercolors, GaRon watercolors that it needed, the silks. I was like, shh, you did enough. So it came with both Krynics that it needs. Wait for it. That wasn't enough. Came with the bead pack. And it has some of the coolest, look at these gems. It has these gems. And it has these longer tube style beads. I don't know what they're called. Bugle beads. I thought it was bugle beads, but I didn't want to say it wrong. And some seed beads and some glass. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. This is going to be amazing. And it's above, I have coined the phrase above my Stitchy pay grade. This is a bit above my Stitchy pay grade. So wish me luck, pray for me. I am contemplating skin over one, but we shall see. We shall see. So that was what the DMC was for. So I got the DMCs that I didn't already have, and I got the Whisper. So it does call for the Rainbow Gallery Whisper in white. So yeah, I'm excited. So I'm thinking September for that. And I should have my cut of fabric by then. So yay, that was insanely amazing. It was funny because people were like, congrats, congrats. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even. I might not be able to like fully function for days. Okay, so anyway, this was another of the books that I got from May Designs. I got this one. I love it. It's pink and yellow gingham. It has joy in the middle. And then this is a academic planner, which means it starts in July and goes through next June. I am feeling my happy planner being cumbersome. So planner piece is not found. It does not exist. I do not believe it exists. I actually bought one of these, the exact same thing, but a different cover, a different thing for my personal planner. It has a monthly calendar. Let's see. Let me show you. This is one part I thought was neat. And this is where I'm going to keep my birthdays, project birthdays. So before the quarter, it has July, August, September. So right here it lists goals, celebrations, and notes. And in some months, I might only, celebrations would be my project birthdays. I don't know that every month I would have more than this. Some months I do. But I think it would be neat to have goals and notes. But then I also have the sidebar in the monthly one to be able to list goals and things like that. And then each week is on one page. It is a horizontal orientation, which gives me plenty of room to write. Saturday and Sunday are a little small, but that's okay. And it goes for one whole year. So we're going to try this because it's a little smaller. And then my whip cards, I've punched with the Happy Planner punch, and I just put Happy Planner rings on them. So that's how I did my whip cards. I am going to rework my whip cards for 2021 and offer 2 different formats. Erin Two Martini Stitcher turned hers into one page. I am going to be releasing, these are in my Etsy shop, but currently I have the 2020 whip cards, and it's a front and back half sheet card that you print in that way. I am going to be offering a full sheet with the whip information, and then it's going to have 3 years worth of tracking. So it'll have 1 on the front and 2 on the back. Shh, don't tell anybody I said that. Okay, then last bit of stash. I ordered some stuff from Stephanie at Lindy Stitches, and this is what came on my package. Is it sad that I want to frame this, like bubble frame it? Honestly, what I will probably end up doing is taking a picture of it and putting it in my journal. So I told you I was going to order the floss pack for Beautiful Things, which is the Oh My Darling It's True, Beautiful Things Have Dents and Scratches Too. That is for sure a start in October. I went ahead and ordered, she has the floss pack, so it has the classic Colorworks. It comes with 2 River Rocks. This is the one that's for the fence, and it is fantastic. This is Timber for the fence. Comes with 2 Almost Auburn, Candied Yams, Dulce de Leche, Chesapeake Bay, which is a new color, Steamed Broccoli, and Cool Azul. So, really pretty palette. And it goes on, I think, Earthen, which I have. So, yay. And while I was there, couldn't travel alone, I did get a PDF chart. I did not print a copy. I will show it to you at a later date. But I did get this one as a paper copy because it was not available as a PDF. And this is Poor and Needy. It says, as for me, I am poor and needy, but the Lord takes thought for me. This will be a for sure stitch. I love the keys. I just love it. And I love the thistles, the St. John's thistles on there. So yeah. And that's not really sure where I left off, but I had an interruption, a FaceTime interruption on my iPad. So here's an example of a religious chart that's not by My Big Toe Designs or any of those. Okay, so then I did get in my little goodie package, I got some Lady Dot Creates cotton lace. So this one is called Mary Jane's. This is also from Lindy Stitch's Etsy shop, link below. This is Red Wagon and Petticoat, which is a really pretty kind of blushy color. And then I got this card, and it says, thanks Annie, XO Steph, which this is amazing. I love it. Look at that pair of scissors. And this has a chart on the back, so it does have a chart, and it says Turtly Lovable is the name of this one. So I will stitch this, and this card will go with it in my journal, because how fun is that? And then I'll probably take a picture of the snail and put him in there too. So that was super fun. Thank you so much, Steph. That was awesome that you go above and beyond with your packaging and drawing a picture and all of that. So that was super fun. And I got some awesome flosses that I can use for that project. I'm so excited to stitch it come October. All right, I have rambled and rambled and rambled, and I somehow managed to get almost all of it in one segment. Almost. Today was just a storytelling kind of a day. So, thank you if you hung into this point. I'm going to go ahead and do my Angel Kindness card. My hair is looking, starts to get a little as the time goes on. So these are the Teresa Kogut Angel Kindness cards. It comes with 52 of them. And I am sharing one with you each week. So the one for this week is this beautiful angel. I love her turquoise on her dress. So pretty. And it says, when things don't seem to be working in your favor, trust in God, for he has better plans for you. So that kind of reminds me of Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you. He has plans. He has big ones. So if things don't seem to be working out, just have some trust, have some faith, and let it help you find joy. Find joy in this journey. Find joy in the everyday. Even if your everyday seems kind of, see if there's something that you can find that it gives you gratitude, that you're grateful for, thankful for. I am thankful for each and every one of you that joins me week to week, for spending time with me, for leaving me such wonderful, uplifting comments. I look forward to seeing you next Friday, and it will be the last Friday of July, Jolly Joyful Whip You Lie. So I have a few more projects to share with you. It looks like one whip and all the rest are new starts. So that will be kind of cool. So with that, I will say have a wonderful week ahead. Please, if you have a question, leave it in the comments below. If you have something you want to share with me, if you have an anecdote you want to share with me, I always am loving a good story. Leave that below. Thank you so much for all your kindness, your thoughtfulness, just reaching out to me here, Instagram, email, whatever the case may be. And with that, I will say, so long, stitch well, I'll see you soon, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, and see you next Friday.